What do you say, everybody? Hello and welcome to Thomas More Stadium on a beautiful Wednesday night here in Florence, Kentucky. It's Wendy's Wrestling Wednesday, along with a little Winning Wednesday, brought to you by the Roar Agency, a brand new promotion with as many W's as you can try and fit into it. We got wrestling currently going on right now, as you can see on the broadcast. That's happening down the third base side of the concourse. Every hour before a Wednesday home game, we have Wrestling Wednesday put on by the NWF, but we'll welcome you guys inside the 50 West Brewing pregame show. It's the broadcast booth, Rory Tettemer alongside Ben Howard. You're listening to Florence Y'all's Baseball on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. 50 West Brewing pregame show, always the pregame show sponsor of the Florence Y'alls, always brought to you by that 50 West trip across America, located at 7605 Worcester Pike, Cincinnati. Ben, a great, fantastic win for Florence yesterday, their first of the season. 5 home runs for the Y'alls and a 13-5 victory over the Mississippi Mud Monsters. How are you feeling today?
I feel a lot better than I did after the weekend, too. I think there's just so much about getting a monkey off your back of finally, you have the shutout on and obviously getting no hit on Thursday, but then you put up some offense on Friday, Saturday, and nothing to show for it. So finally to get not only some offense, but then a W in the win column. I also think that's 3 games now where we've seen a lot of offensive production from Florence, even though it's just resulted in 1 win. I think they're got to be feeling really good moving forward. We talked to Hank Zeisler after the game yesterday. I mean, this star core in the middle of the lineup is really playing their best at the right time.
And I think, that has to do with some of those people that, are here for their second year or third year. It was Brendan Bobo and Hank Zeisler. Obviously, they saw the way that Mississippi manhandled Florence last year. We're 3-9 against Mississippi in 2025. But to come out here in the very first game against them, put up a 13-5 statement win. Zeisler with 7 RBIs, Bobo with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Those guys had to be really feeling good at the plate to get a little bit of extra revenge.
They definitely did. I think, too, that a lot of it is just, it's a long season. Again, there's so much that goes into these specific matchups, but there's just something that is so important about getting to a starter early, and that's what happened yesterday when they went up against Brenton Thiers. And then, today they're going to see a little bit different of a starter in terms of not only just success so far this season, but also just a different archetype. This is where I'm really excited to see this Florence team challenged a little bit, because you're facing a really good pitcher today at Preston Johnson.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're figuring going in. It's probably the best pitcher Florence has faced entering this season. Obviously in their 5th game only, but Preston Johnson with some pedigree. A very good Double-A year last year, made it up to Triple-A with the Baltimore Orioles. Obviously now in Mississippi, trying to get back up to affiliated ball, but 1 start so far. He went 6 shutout innings, a .5 whip. That's certainly a guy that presents a threat to this Florence offense that is just getting clicking, and hopefully they can continue that here today. Donning the baby blue pinstripes, obviously the full white jerseys, but the baby blue pinstripes down, and then the red, white, and blue caps, while the Mississippi Mud Monsters back in those black jerseys, black pants with the teal caps. It is a little bit brisk. I was not expecting this wind.
Yeah.
Wind gusts apparently up to 30 miles per hour, but certainly creating a little bit more of like a fall temperature than, that early, late spring, early summer.
That wind is blowing out hard to right field, too. I'm looking at three lefties at the top of this Florence lineup coming off some hot days, and specifically Zeisler and Bobo, guys who could leave the yard.
Hey, it might be a good day for Shadenfeld to try and leave the yard. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of the long ball today. Obviously Florence with 5 yesterday, 2 from the captain, Hank Zeisler, 2 from Bobo, and 1 from Zade Richardson. We finally have our home run board up and moving around as well. A little fun game between the front office trying to pick who's going to hit a home run during each game. On the other side for Florence, it's the first start of the season for Bradley Wilson, 2nd appearance. He looked very good in relief, 3 shutout innings, a .33 whip. That was back in the opening series against Evansville in obviously Bosse Field. Now he comes back to Florence. Last year, he came up mid-season, was starting out as a reliever, looked pretty good, but he really found more success in that starting role. I don't think it showcased into his ERA. Totally ends up with a 5 ERA. I thought he had some very good outings that maybe got away from him in the later innings. It seemed like every outing that he came out for last year, he was, starting off with a no-hit bid. 3 innings in, you're like, hey, there he goes again. 3 innings in, he hasn't allowed a hit. So I thought he found some more success there. Obviously a very good bullpen piece. Florence. That is where, he was in college. At the end of college, he found some success as a long reliever. Florence trying to get him into that 5 spot. What do you think about that, competition there for the 5th spot right now?
We talked about it a lot yesterday. We've seen 2 pretty good relief appearances out of Liam Alpern, who's someone who can give you starter length. He's built up to be a little bit more of a starter, so I think he's someone that's going to be competing for that last spot. But I just think when you look at the options, you say you might as well give the guy that's been on your roster for a while now the opportunity with Wilson. Really kind of his spot to lose, I think, is the idea. It's not that he's officially in this spot so far, but it worked out just with the 2 off days that they were able to get him in there and still throw 3 innings of relief in the first game of the season on Thursday. So really just his spot to lose, I think, is the way they're looking at it.
Yeah, the starter spot has been shaky so far for Florence. Obviously, no one's gone above, 4 1/3 innings. That was Zach Westcott. I think he probably looked the best, and he got 9 runs of support. Villalobos yesterday doesn't end up qualifying for the win, but is the only one that was able to put up a team win, obviously with the 13 runs of support. So Florence still looking for their first decision from a starter. Hopefully Bradley Wilson can go those 5 innings and earn that decision. Don't know what he's worked up to. We obviously saw 3 back in his first appearance. I got to assume he's around that 4-5 in his second time through. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, obviously, it just depends on how efficiently he works through these first few innings. The majority of the first 4 starts for Florence, the reason they haven't been long is because they've been long innings. That's especially what we saw from Villalobos. He got knocked around in innings 1 and 2 yesterday, and he threw 93 pitches eventually in those few innings don't work. So I think it's something that you just have to watch, depending on how long those first couple of innings are. But you cruise through those first couple, I mean, why can't you go 5 or 6?
I completely agree. Bradley Wilson in 2025 throughout the entire season, 1-2 record, a 5.96 ERA. That's 10 games for Wilson where he was working in the bullpen, 22.2 innings pitched. On the flip side, he worked an additional 6 games as a starter where he worked a 5.12 ERA, an 0-1 record across 27 2/3 innings pitched, 19 Ks to 6 walks, and just allowing 1 home run. 19 Ks to 6 walks. I think that's a big number there. He's throwing the ball over the plate in the strike zone, not going to give you away with a lot of those free bases, which I honestly think Florence has been struggling with a little bit. 18 walks, mainly on the reliever side, but still it was 3 walks yesterday from Villalobos.
I actually do like what I saw for the bullpen yesterday. I think it's going to start to settle in a little bit. The first weekend is just such a crapshoot sometimes when you're just trying to put in every single reliever, and that's what happened. Every single relief pitcher on the roster, all the active ones, threw in the opening weekend. You're going to start to see a little bit more defined roles. Right now it's a point with the new manager where you're just trying to get it figured out and see who, is going to be put in what spot. I think this is going to be one of the stronger parts of the team is the bullpen moving forward.
Hopefully they do start to shore up there, rotation and bullpen alike. Let's start to focus a little bit more on the offense. We'll go through our starting lineups for today. First for the away team, Mississippi Mud Monsters. Leading off in center field, Braylon Skinner, just like he was yesterday. It's pretty much the same first 4 at least. Kyle Booker in right field batting second. Batting third, the designated hitter today, Travis Holt. In the cleanup spot, the first baseman, Jack Holman. In the 5 slot will be the left fielder, Caston Furr. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Jackson Nicklaus. In the 7th slot, the third baseman and relief pitcher from yesterday, A.J. Fritz. Batting 8th, the catcher, Andrew Simo. And rounding out once again will be the shortstop, Slater Shield. What do you think of this Mississippi lineup now that you've seen it one time?
I think that there's no surprises in the top of it. Moving up Furr a little bit was a little surprised, but the biggest thing for me is seeing Fritz. Only 4 at-bats for him in the first few games. And we've been full of surprises with A.J. Fritz. We're seeing him in the lineup today after seeing him on the mound. That's the kind of game we had yesterday, a position player on the mound. Might be a little bit of hometown love, too. He had a pretty big fan base yesterday. We'll see if they're back in attendance. Fritz from Lebanon, Ohio. But overall, it's a lineup that gave Gateway a lot of problems and, gave Florence some problems in the first couple of innings, too.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball, let's take a look at the Florence lineup. It'll be Tyler Schoenfeld leading off in center field. Batting second, the captain at first base, Hank Zeisler. In the 3 slot, the right fielder, Brendan Bobo. and then it'll be the designated hitter, Zade Richardson, hitting cleanup. That's been the same for every single game this season for the Y'alls in whatever order. Now we go to the 5 slot. The left fielder, Jackson Tucker, filling in for Marcus Brodell. Batting 6th will be second baseman, Keenan Taylor. In the 7 slot, the catcher, Zach Beadle. Batting 8th once again after a tremendous day yesterday, the third baseman, Garrett Broussard. And rounding it out, the shortstop, Dylan Baker. I've seen a lot of good things from Broussard and Baker at the bottom of the lineup. I think they did a really good job yesterday, but I want to attribute it to all season. When Broussard's been out there, he's been rock solid at 400. He's got an RBI, but he's also had some good extra base hits. Now Dylan Baker hitting 308 with 3 RBIs, had an extra base hit and an RBI yesterday.
Well, it was the top of the lineup in that the 2-3-4 that really did a lot of the damage on the scoreboard. The reason I think they were able to do it is because the bottom of the lineup was not making it easy on Mississippi's pitchers. And Thiel started and really had a tough time the first 2 times through with that bottom part of the lineup, and that's eventually what really got him out of the game, and that's what put runs on base for to come home once the heart of the lineup hit those extra base hits and those home runs.
Yeah, let's see if they could do it again today. It's once again the 3 lefties at the top and then 6 righties to follow. So Florence, they're giving Mississippi and they gave Evansville the chance to throw a lefty reliever. The good thing for Mississippi, they only have 1 lefty pitcher in the bullpen, and Eric Elliott. Did not see him yesterday. Maybe you see him today.
Yeah, Elliott's the only one, and obviously you have a righty on the mound too to start. So I think I would like to say maybe it plays into why they're doing it, but we saw a similar lineup against Evansville. I just think Toby Hall thinks this is his best 9, something similar, close to it, and saying, hey, righty-lefty, I don't care, we're going to throw him out there.
Yeah.
I like the lineup construction just in terms of where guys are, putting your best hitter second and Hank Zeisler, having, probably your second best hitter to follow him up, and Brendan Bobo right behind. And Tyler Schoenfeld's about as stereotypical leadoff hitter as you can get.
Yeah. My Cintas key to the game always brought to you by Cintas. Keep your business safe, clean, and professional with help from Cintas. Visit us online at cintas.com. I'm going to say jump on Preston Johnson early. Obviously it's a little bit colder than I'm sure he's used to in Mississippi. Florence coming off a hot start yesterday. Maybe they can do the same here today. Bounce Preston out of this game early enough, and then you see that bullpen once again from Mississippi, and you can attack throughout. So I think if you let Johnson develop into a groove, he's going to, last until that 6th inning like he did in his first start, and that's not going to be good news for Florence.
Yeah, Rory, I think, too, another big key is just kind of the inverse of that, and Bradley Wilson being efficient through the first couple of innings. I think it's just done so much for starters to be able to give them length. And, again, not what we've seen from Florence the first few games so far. Villalobos did settle in that inning 3, but that's all he could really do. So, 1, 2, 3. Get a 1-2-3 inning in one of the first couple innings, go scoreless in the first couple of innings, and I think you're really putting yourself in a better spot.
You've been listening to the 50 West Brewing pregame show, the premier brewery in the Cincinnati area. 50 West, every beer is a journey. Join us for the ride, located at 7605 Worcester Pike, Cincinnati. You're listening to Florence Y'alls Baseball on the Home Team Network and the Florence Y'alls Radio Network. Rory Tettemer, Ben Howard tuning in, helping you guys out along the way. We'll pause here. As we get ready for our starting lineups and national anthem. We'll come back, we'll deliver the first pitch, and Florence Y'alls Baseball coming up. Don't go anywhere. More Florence Y'alls coming up on HTN. lovely, lovely rendition of our national anthem, always brought to you by Pella Window and Door, as well as our first pitch is brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. We're ready for some Florence Y'alls baseball. The 1-3 Y'alls take on the 2-2 Mississippi Mud Monsters in a Midwest Conference battle. Florence donning the white jerseys with the baby blue pinstripes, red, white, and blue caps. Mississippi right back in those black jerseys with black pants and teal hats. Jerseys very tough to read number-wise, but you actually haven't seen anything compared to their teal jerseys, which are even harder.
Yeah, and especially, too, I'm colorblind, so those numbers are almost impossible for me to see. We even had a mix-up yesterday with a relief pitcher in the middle there with some numbers. So, but I do like the branding of Mississippi. I like the logo. I think Mud Monsters, very fun concept.
Bradley Wilson on the mound, the starting pitcher for Florence. He 3 innings pitched, no runs, a .33 whip for Wilson. This is obviously his first start of the season for the Y'alls after just appearing in a brief relief appearance in Evansville in the opening series. But you can see his nice stats there on the broadcast there on Home Team Network. Appreciate them for everything they do. 4 strikeouts and a walk for Wilson in those 3 innings against Evansville. He looked very good, and hopefully he could build off of 3 innings today, deliver 4 or 5 in the starting role and starting capacity for Florence.
Yeah, it's obviously a little different approach being a starter versus being a reliever. One thing that I've really noted about Wilson, though, is that he is someone who at every single level of his career was both a starter and reliever and could be used as both. So I think there's just so much value in having that versatility, being someone who, just 5 days ago had a different mindset coming in relief versus now maybe getting thrown into the rotation.
Yeah, he's a guy, like I said, I've been saying all offseason that Bradley Wilson, if he comes out hot out of the gate this season, he might be the first pitcher to go. When he's on his stuff, he's 95. He's got very good movement on all of his off speeds. Like I said, he pounds the zone, and what affiliated team wouldn't want a guy like that, especially with his build, 6'1", 175. That's, it screams affiliated ball to me. And like I said, if he comes out the gate just roaring, I don't think he lasts in Florence long.
It's putting it all together is the biggest thing for him, and consistency into once he gets to those 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. And we'll see here on.
First pitch grounded down the first base line and foul at 6:54, about 3 minutes off schedule. But what do you expect on opening day?
Opening week and first Wrestling Wednesday, too.
Yes, the home opening week. Sorry, not opening day, but opening week.
We were a little later on opening day.
Yes. The 0-1 swing and a miss. Looked like a nice off-speed inside there. Bradley Wilson, I have him down as a fastball curve change. I know he has, been developing other pitches, working in the lab in the offseason, but fastball curve change. It's pretty simple arsenal for Wilson. That one's grounded down third baseline foul. Will stay 0-2 here against the batter Braylon Skinner. He'll be followed by Kyle Booker and Travis Holt in the order for Mississippi.
One of the first things we saw with Mississippi yesterday earlier in the game is just how much the speed can impact the game. And it all starts with Skinner at the top, too. Tagging up from second to third, a couple of fly balls.
1-2 right side through the infield for a base hit. Braylon Skinner, 2 strikes, still able to put one through. That is really his game, on the ground, split the infield, or even just a high hopper in the infield and get a single, probably steal a base to get over to second.
Yeah, those high hoppers were everything yesterday. He had 4 of them. 3 of them ended up getting on base. One to the level it needed to. A little bit late break there for Baker to get over to the bag, but he got there just in time. Had to lay out to lay down the tag, but it was a good tag.
Not to mention they got the strike call, and there's a swing and a miss. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Kyle Booker down on 3 pitches. First K of the day for Bradley Wilson. How about that for a turnaround? First, you start off with a single after giving it up on an 0-2 pitch. Then your catcher picks you up, and you pick up a strikeout right after.
Yeah, that's huge. I think the confidence is such a big thing for Wilson. And this first inning is going to tell us a lot.
Brings up the righty Travis Holt. First righty facing Bradley Wilson today. First pitch in there for a strike. He goes back to firing. Strikes right there. 88 miles per hour, 24.47 on the spin rate. Bottom outside part of the zone. Works from the stretch with the bases empty, off speed. Beautifully placed inside, but not called. It's a 1-1 count. Straight up defense for Florence. Let's take a look at the defense. The baby blue pinstripes. Tucker out in left field. Shaney Felt in center. Bobo in right. Off-speed misses downstairs. Broussard at the hot corner at third. Dylan Baker at short. Keenan Taylor at second. Hank Zeisler over at first. And doing the catching, Zach Beadle. His third start of the season. So it's been 3 starts for Beadle, 2 for Sergio Gutierrez.
That's come as a little bit of a surprise.
3-1 fastball dots up the outer half at 88.
Thought it would be a true, Gutierrez the starter. He gets 2 of the 3 starts in a series. And Beadle gets the 1 to relieve him, but 2 for Beadle in the first weekend.
Seems like Beadle, kind of forced the hand of Toby Hall. Obviously, Toby knew who he was. He brought him over from Windy City, but then 2 home runs in exhibition play. That certainly didn't go unnoticed. There's a foul ball, first base side, and out of play. As a parent going out onto the dugout, you're not supposed to stand on those dugouts.
I was going to say,
Not only were there 2 kids, right behind him trying to get the ball, but then he goes out and sets the bad precedent.
but if your kid's already out there getting the ball, you might as well just get him off of it.
Yeah. Here's the 2-2. Skies at foul. We'll do it again.
Much lighter crowd than last night.
100%. I don't know if the weather played into it at all, but Florence, he clearly used all our resources trying to get people here for opening day. But the day after, Wednesday's usually always a little bit lower on attendance.
The opening day hangover.
Yes, exactly. 2-2, off speed, called, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks from Bradley Wilson and an unconventional 1-2-3 in the opening frame. Let's see what Florence could do in the bottom of the first when we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Bottom half of the first inning always brought to you by Heritage Bank. At Heritage Bank, we believe your money should work as hard as you do. Proudly local, fiercely dependable. That's the Heritage difference. Visit heritagebank.com or stop by a branch near you today. Nice frame there from Bradley Wilson to start the game. Let's see what Florence could do on the offense. It's Shaney, Felt, Zeisler, and Bobo to lead things off. The 3 lefties in the lineup for the Yalls against the right-hander Preston Johnson on the mound for Mississippi. 1-0 record across 6 innings of shutout baseball in his 1 start. Let's take a look at the defense for Mississippi as well. Caston Furr in left field, Braylon Skinner in center, Booker in right, Fritz at third, Shield at short, Nicklaus at second. That'll be Holman over at first, and Simo, once again, the catcher for the Mud Monsters. Tyler Shaney felt a very good day yesterday. Ended up picking up 2 hits, 3 walks. He was on base 5 out of 6 plate appearances.
We set the tone. I mean, the Florence offense got started so early, and I think large in part due to every time he came up, he was on base pretty much the first few innings.
Johnson, 8 Ks, no strikes in his one outing so far. Certainly has the pedigree coming from the Baltimore Orioles organization. Pitched as high as AAA just last year, and then had very good numbers in AA. First one missed away to Shaney Felt, the 1-0 in there for a strike at 91, top of the zone.
Yeah, when we spoke to Toby Hall before the game, didn't overanalyze it, just said, yeah, he's a really good pitcher, but we got some pretty good hitters too.
Yeah. The 1-1 misses inside, 2-1. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning for Florence. 0-0 ball game. Sideways windup, the 2-1 pitch. Shaney Felt skies it foul behind home plate and out of play. So you got to see your first Wrestling Wednesday, saw the NWF putting on some wrestling matches. What'd you think? You said that was your first time seeing wrestling in person.
I'm not a wrestling person at all. Like, I've
Yeah.
never seen it. I've got some friends who enjoy it, but I'll tell you what, I was engaged.
Yeah. No, I mean, the moves they do are like legit. You're hitting that floor hard.
We had a title for title fight, too.
Yes, and I don't know if you saw it, just got imploded by the rest of the roster coming out. Shaneyfeld skies one out towards left field. Fur coming in on it, working in the sun. He makes the grab for out number 1. So that one ended up in disqualification. That's usually how those title matches go, just so nothing changes when, it's just at a Florence Y'all's game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Preston Johnson out of Jackson, Mississippi, 26 years of age. So, if he does make it back to affiliated ball, it would be this year, and then he'd have to be sent to AAA, I believe, from the minor league rules, just based off his age. Triple or double A? Don't know what it is for 26. Hank Zeisler, the captain, steps up to the plate. He had 2 home runs yesterday. Preston Johnson working from the windup, ends up stepping off and now having a meeting with the catcher. I think Johnson saw what Zeisler did yesterday. Said, hey, let's talk about a game plan
time
here.
out. Potentially walk him.
In Double A with Chesapeake in the Orioles organization, 4-4 record and a 3.58 ERA. That's 19 appearances, just 1 start. Went to 7 appearances and 1 start with Triple A, the Norfolk Tide. First pitch in there for a strike. A 14.73 ERA across 11 innings, 18 runs. Really hit him around in Triple A. Double A, pretty good season. Fouls that one off the leg. It's an 0-2 count to the captain.
Yeah, once you get up to Double A, I mean, you got some high caliber, what should be AAA players playing in Double A, just with the way some of the rules work and, taking your time to move some guys up. So I still hold a lot of weight into the ability to compete at the Double A level.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what he did at Triple A.
Well, sometimes they say Double A is the, where the better competition is because that's where a lot of the prospects will hide there. And then, the AAA players are the ones that are ready, maybe not the top guys, but they're ready for the big league and be called upon at any time.
It's also your AAA works so closely with your major league team that sometimes you have the feeling that the Double A teams are in there to try to win a little bit more than AAA teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the tough conversation with minor league baseball.
Yeah, that's the varsity versus JV.
Yeah.
If your JV team's good, then your varsity team's doing it wrong. The 0-2 to Zeisler. Fastball misses outside. Again, it's a lot colder than many would have thought today. That's what I was trying to use to the advantage of Florence. Preston Johnson, maybe not used to the cold, being from Mississippi. There's a called strike 3 on an off-speed.
He's going to need to have his best stuff when he's facing Zeisler, and that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Right on the outside corner. Started up in the zone, and I think Zeisler just got confused a little bit.
Yeah, 25-60 on the spin rate. Certainly a lot of spin. Let's see what he could do against Bobo. Bobo trying to prove that he's an affiliated talent.
They do that off the zone and TrackMan, though.
Yeah, a few inches off. About an inch and a half. First pitch misses downstairs. Fastball bouncing in the dirt, 88. Bobo, heck of a day yesterday. If it wasn't for Zeisler with 7 RBIs, Bobo with 3 hits and 4 RBIs, including 2 home runs himself. The 1-0, high and inside, almost brushes Bobo off the plate there. 89, 24, 13 on the spin rate. So there's the fastball, high 80s, low 90s. 2-0. Got it in there at 92. I wonder if there's a disparity between 4-seam and 2-seam there. And that's where you see the little bit of velo change. 2-1, swing and a miss, top of the zone.
Yeah, Bobo got that fastball once and kind of became eye candy.
Yeah.
A bit above the zone.
And went chasing there at the top of the zone. Wind up the 2-2. Bobo fouls it away to stay alive. I think putting some base runners on early against Johnson would be a good idea. Zade Richardson warming up in the on-deck circle. First time I've seen him without a dual flap helmet. Really on the one flap helmet there. 2-2. Bobo skies it down the left field line. Looks like foul territory. Out goes Furr and Fritz. It's Fritz making the grab in foul territory for a 1-2-3 opening frame from Preston Johnson. We're through one. It's scoreless here at Thomas More Stadium. We'll be back with the top half of the second inning when we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN.
Back here at the top of the second, Mississippi and Florence as second frame for the Bud Monsters offense. Umpires for today's game, Rudy Bosk behind the plate. Jeff Osborne takes over at first. The crew chief, Henry Schmulwitz, at third base. He was calling balls and strikes yesterday. All umpire intros brought to you by Pella Windows. Looking for a clear view of every call? Trust Pella Window and Door, bringing you replay-worthy clarity and craftsmanship you can count on. Pella Window and Door, so good even the ump won't miss a thing.
Very well done, Ben. Thanks for bringing us our umpire intro. Foul ball there on the first pitch to Jack Holman. He'll be followed by Caston Furr and Jackson Nicklaus. Bradley Wilson back out for another frame. He worked pretty quick, 1-2-3, unconventional 1-2-3. Gets another swing and a miss there. He's up 0-2, 92 miles per hour there. That's the fastest pitch so far from Wilson. Went back-to-back strikeouts after allowing a single. Was also helped by by Zach Beadle behind the plate. Fastball called, strike three on the outer half. 3 Ks in a row from Bradley Wilson. He is dialed in.
Rory, if you are a pitcher, you're Bradley Wilson, or you're Preston Johnson, you're loving this outside corner to lefties early so far. Another one that looks like it was way off the plate, but a generous call for Wilson.
As long as it's called both sides, I got no problem.
Right.
Caston Furr digs in. Grounds it, high hopper over towards the shortstop. Dylan Baker has it on 2 hops. Throw on to first, scooped, and in time by Hank Zeisler. All scoops brought to you by Can You Dig It? Can You Dig It too? Head over to Can You Dig It RC in Erlanger for hands-on remote control construction and 4x4 rock crawling fun. Visit us in-store or book online at canyoudigitrc.com.
Gonna have a lot of those with Zeisler over at first base. He had a couple of tough ones yesterday, but Dylan Baker handled that just such a professional way. I mean, had to wait on it, but the minute he had a chance to attack, he did, and then got the throw over in time.
Yeah, it was a very nice play from Dylan Baker there. Also get to see the Can You Dig It sponsorship in full action. 0-1 count. That one sky down the left field line. Coming over is Tucker. He won't get there. Did stay in foul territory in the stadium. Just went down a little too quickly. The batter, Jackson Nicklaus, here in the top half of the second. 0-0. Between the Florence Y'alls and the Mississippi Mud Monsters. Wilson delivers the 0-2. Off speed misses downstairs, but a very good pitch. Well, slow inside to Niklas, just able to lay off of it at the bottom of the zone. Working on the first base side of the rubber from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike 3. Dials it up there again. His 4th K of the day, and another 1-2-3 frame from Bradley Wilson. He's rolling through 2. We'll head to the bottom half of the second for Florence. Second turn through. When we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Bottom half of the second, it's 0-0 on our Thomas More scoreboard. Always a scoreboard partner, Thomas More University. Thomas More University, you'll be able to take your life and your career as far as you want it to go. Apply or donate today at thomasmore.edu. Zade Richardson, Jackson Tucker, and Keenan Taylor will start things off for the Y'alls. It was a 1-2-3 frame from Preston Johnson. Struck out Hank Zeisler, forced a fly out on Shaney Fell, and a pop out to third by Brendan Bobo. Both pitchers looking good through an inning and a half. See those Stoop Days cans getting ready.
It's a little earlier than we saw them yesterday. They're just getting them ready now?
Yeah. Well, they're big.
They are big.
Yeah. You know, you see them going through the concourse. It's like, hey, well, I know what's coming.
Yeah. You're not hiding anything
It's
here.
not a surprise. Stoop Days coming through. You know, when you're at a Major League Baseball game, they hide those mascot races. Right. Or I guess, you know, they're all underneath.
The president, yeah.
Yeah, the president
Do
race.
the Phillies have one?
The Phillies, they probably do some sort of Galapagos Island chase. 0-1 swinging to Mr. Richardson. You know the Galapagos gang?
Mm-mm.
It's like these air inflatable costumes. Just big like monsters. There isn't a consistent theme of like something that's real for a Philly mascot. You know, obviously you have Gritty, you got the Philly Fanatic. They're not real. They're not real animals. It's not like we're embodying a wolf.
That's a lot of baseball mascots more than anything are like that.
Yeah. I can only think like the Brewer is just
It's just a guy who makes
just a
some beer.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good point.
I guess you get Wally the Green Monster. Not real either. Like the Braves. The Braves guy isn't real. I don't even remember his name. Some blooper. 0-2. Fastball right down Broadway. 93 freezes Richardson. Second K of the day for Preston Johnson. How about the emphatic display behind the home plate?
I was just going to say, I've been impressed with both pitchers today. I've been impressed with Rudy Bosk's, his performance today. He loves punching guys out. Half the mascots, though, are just baseballs. They're people with baseballs.
Yep.
Reds have 3 of them. Mr. Met is one.
Yep. First pitch to Tucker runs upstairs in 93. Yeah, the red legs gang kind of there, and then Mr. Met, Mrs. Met.
Hi, there's Mrs. Met.
She's become famous over the past couple months. Jackson Tucker skies one foul down the right field line over towards the kid zone.
I mean, it's just a mandatory 3 memes a year for the New York Mets every season. So
it is. They always end up finding something. Was the inflatables up in the kid zone yesterday?
It was, yeah.
It's a little too windy today. Got to be careful with those inflatables in the wind. The 1-1 grounder looks like a broken bat right back to the pitcher, Johnson. Underhand throw to first is in time. 1-3 on the put away. He's gone 5 up, 5 down. Now facing Keenan Taylor.
He hasn't really struggled in any of the at-bats either. He hasn't gone down in any at-bats. And there haven't been, hard contact outs really in these first 5 ABs either.
There was a time last year, I think early on, we faced Gateway, and they had Sam Coonrod. Do you know who that is? All right, so he was a former major leaguer, was with the Phillies, with the Giants, was a closer in the major leagues. He was closing games for the great Gateway Grizzlies, and I was like, man, this is just not fair. He was still pumping, and he just mowed us down, and eventually got picked up by the Twins, and before he could report, he was injured. So he didn't actually get picked up, and he was just done with the Gateway Grizzlies. He's from St. Louis. That's why he was with them. But it was pretty amazing because he was here in Florence, and we're like, man, he's just mowing through us. We didn't stand a chance. This is kind of what I'm feeling with Preston Johnson now. He's got a little bit more of that experience than everyone else, and he's just using every bit of it. Now a 1-2 count to Keenan Taylor.
Everything is really methodical, I think, from Johnson is a word to describe it. His misses, it feels like, are they come at the right time, very opportunistic. And once he gets to 2 strikes, the put-away pitch has been there a couple of times already for him.
He's got the teal glove in front of the face, sideways windup. Kicks the 1-2. Taylor able to foul it away. 93, top of the zone. Taylor not the best day yesterday. Couple of strikeouts. Left hitless, did get a walk. Enters today with a 182 batting average, 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Johnson has like a little bit of step in his windup. 1-2, fastball misses away at 94. That's the fastest pitch of the day.
He's changing up his timing a little bit, and I think some of it has to do with, once he starts to get up in the count, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go after him here. He slowed down with Taylor.
Said I want to get that into the stretch, see if he has the same type of rhythm. You can kind of disrupt that with the runner on base. The 2-2. Off speed misses away. Taylor's worked himself into a full count. Taylor using the red bat. Florence got baby blue bats, black bats, red bats. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball right down Broadway, in there for a strike, maybe bottom of the zone. Either way, another strike 3 for Preston Johnson. His third of the day. He goes 6 up, 6 down through 2. We head to the top of the third. It's time for Tettemer Trivia. 0-0 here on the Florence Y'all's Radio Network. Top half of the third inning always brings us our Tettemer Trivia, brought to you by the Roar Agency, located in all 50 states across the nation. Feel the Roar difference with Roar Insurance. Visit us today at roarins.com. Bradley Wilson back out for another inning of work. It's 0-0 here in the top half of the third inning. A.J. Fritz will be the batter, followed by Andrew Semo and Slater Shield. 7, 8, 9 due up for Mississippi. It's a 1-0 count. First pitch misses away at 91. 4 strikeouts so far for Bradley Wilson. Working from the stretch again. The 0-1 runs inside, hits him. That'll be the first base runner since the leadoff single from Braylon Skinner. Hit by pitch, always brought to you by Airport Paint and Body. That one's going to leave a mark. When life throws a fastball at your ride, they'll smooth it out and get you back in the game. Submit a free estimate today at airportpaintandbody.com.
Wilson's been hitting his spots these first 6 batters. Just let one go.
Let's get to today's Tettemer Trivia. You ready? How did you experience Tettemer Trivia yesterday? Did you like it? Stolen base there from A.J. Fritz, now on second, in there safely.
I couldn't sleep last night thinking about how terrible of a guess Corey Seager was. I don't care about the result. 2 out of 4 is fine. I would have liked 3. But Corey Seager, he had, 40 steals in his career? That was a terrible guess.
Well, you got a chance for redemption today. And it's kind of revolving around a similar thing. We're looking for, there's one player here, so you don't have to name 4. That one's skied out towards right field. Brendan Bobo and Shaney Felt going at it. Shaney Felt with the call, tagging second to third will be Fritz. He'll come in without a throw. Not really a sacrifice flying there, but works in the same way. Andrew Semo does a job to move the runner over to third. That'll bring up Slater Shield with the runner 90 feet away and 1 away. So we're looking for the only player in Major League Baseball history to record 3 seasons of 10-plus triples, 20-plus home runs, and 30-plus stolen bases. My hint, they are active in the National League. Again, so one player, Major League Baseball history, 3 seasons they've done this. 10-plus triples, 20-plus home runs, and 30-plus stolen bases. Active in the National League. That's your Tettemer Trivia question of the day, always brought to you by the Roar Agency.
10 triples.
10-plus triples. Off speed in there for a strike. 1-1 count to Slater Shield at the bottom of the lineup here from Mississippi. 0-0 game at the top of the third.
Well, I know there's no way you'd make Trey Turner the answer again, so that's one that in a normal world, potentially would be an option that I'm going to throw out there. Throw out the window.
That one gets by Zach Beadle. Run will come in to score. So a wild pitch there from Bradley Wilson. What a very good job there from A.J. Fritz. I mean, a hit by pitch, stolen base, moving on a fly ball, and then comes in on a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Well, that display of small ball gets a little bit bigger when you look at who's on the mound and the pace and the effectiveness that Preston Johnson's pitching with. 6 up, 6 down as it stands right now.
It's a 2-2 count.
The 10 triples is where things get interesting because I feel like it has to be
2-2. Popped up. Right field side. Heading out of play. Zeisler, Taylor, and Bobo all getting at it, but no one will come up with it. Ends up in no man's land.
Am I allowed to go through my thought process, or is it helping out people listening?
No, you can go through your thought process.
The first thing my mind goes to, the 10 triples is what I'm thinking about more than anything. So I gotta go to Arizona. 10 triples is a lot. But I don't think Corbin Carroll's done it. I don't think Ketel Marte's done it.
Why are you only going to Arizona? 2-2, misses upstairs.
That's just the ballpark I think of when I think triples. I mean, I guess they're active in the NL. Could have played a little bit in the AL.
Payoff pitch, ground ball, past the diving Keenan Taylor into right center field for a base hit. It's a one-out single for Slater Shield as we circle back to the top of the order for Braylon Skinner.
You know, that wild pitch wouldn't have mattered as much, even if runner doesn't get to third, probably scores on the single. Mississippi's got guys up and down the lineup that, again, just have the ability to do that with their speed.
So runner on first. A 1-0 Mississippi lead. Runner takes off. Pitch misses outside. Throw down to second. It's a good one. Beadle, tag applied in time. Nabs his second runner on the day in just the third inning. And that wipes the bases clean.
Zach Beadle has done nothing but try to make a name for himself and force himself into this lineup, into the roster for Florence ever since spring training started. We've seen it with his bat, and how about the defense? Throwing out a couple of runners on a very fast Mississippi team.
Defense is something that, you know, will get you into the lineup as long as you're consistent back there. There's a ground ball down the first base line and foul. 1-0 count. One rope through the right side of the infield. It's the second base hit of the inning, second base hit of the day for Braylon Skinner.
Yeah, all three base hits so far for Mississippi have been through that right side of the infield, relatively low and on the ground. And two of them from Skinner. Both the guys who have base hits today were lefties, so pulled that way too. Just a little too dangerous inside from Wilson.
First pitch to the batter, Kyle Booker, in there for a strike. Back pick attempt, nothing going. Trying to keep Skinner honest over there. He was caught stealing the very first inning. So Zach Beadle now throwing two runners out today. Skinner and Shield at the bottom and top of the order. That one's fouled back. Wilson quickly up 0-2 against Kyle Booker. He struck him out the last time around. Bouncing around is Skinner over at first. The 0-2 pitch. High hopper over towards the third baseman. Broussard fields it. Throw on to first is long. And in time. Nice play there from Garrett Broussard, and to stay patient waiting for that to come down. Florence does give up one. It's a 1-0 Mississippi lead as we head to the bottom half of the third. Get your guesses in for Tettemer Trivia when we return to the Frontier League Network powered by HTN. Check 1-2, got it. Yeah, I can hear it now. Thank you. Bottom half of the third inning, it's a 1-0 Mississippi lead. Florence trying to get that right back. It's been 6 up, 6 down for Preston Johnson. He's facing 7, 8, 9 for the Yalls. Beadle, Broussard, and Baker. Triple B's down at the bottom of the order for Florence. Still playing Tettemer Trivia in the inning. Question was, only one player in Major League Baseball history has recorded 3 seasons of 10-plus triples, 20-plus home runs, and 30-plus stolen bases. We're looking for that one player. He's active in the National League. You guys have until the bottom of the third inning with 2 away to get your guests in for trivia. You could comment in the comment section here on the YouTube radio stream, or the question is live on Twitter. Florence_Y'alls and R Tettemer9 are the accounts where it's live. Feel free to comment. I'll shout you out here on the broadcast. Have you circled an answer yet, Ben?
No, I have not.
First pitch, swing and a miss to Zach Beadle, having a heck of a day defensively behind the plate, now in his first plate appearance today. Got some good guesses from some of the other fans tuning in. Winds the 0-1. That one's fouled back, 0-2. Preston Johnson seems to be getting ahead of every Y'alls hitter and then not looking back. Florence has not kicked him out of his groove yet. Also not seeing tremendous amount of pitches.
This is a question where it's less, yesterday I was like, all right, you got to think of guys who have been in the MLB for a while. I don't think that as much with this question.
That one bounces in the dirt and gets away.
Do I think it's somebody like Corbin Carroll, who's only been in the league for about 4 or 5 years? Probably not. But, I mean, he's got the power, and he's got when I think of triples, I think of Corbin Carroll. Again, it goes back to the Diamondbacks thing.
Oh, the Diamondbacks ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay. The 1-2. Beadle skies it. Looks like over our heads. Yep, up and on top of the press bucket.
I think another sneaky pick, Christian Yelich, is one that.
Christian Yelich would be a sneaky pick, yeah. Yeah, so it's just 3+ seasons. So at least they have to have played 3 years in Major League Baseball. You're there. Swing and a miss, Beadle down on strikes. The 4th K of the day for Preston Johnson.
That's the first K forward facing.
Yeah.
First swinging strikeout for him so far.
Let's get some of the other guesses. Carter Cousins with a few. He said, no way, it's Trey Turner again. He said the same thing for you. Yeah. Acuna would probably be too young. And then he said Lindor. So he said Trey Turner, Acuna, Lindor. He's guessed those 3. Of course, he said no Trey Turner. We had Rich Tettemer said Mookie Betts. And then Cam Beatty said Treyway, Acuna, Mookie, or Corbin.
Somebody got to stop me from guessing Corbin Carroll.
A lot of the same people. Fouled back. Ooh, almost a good opportunity for a fan. Ends up missing it. 1-1 count to Garrett Broussard. A 3-hit day for him yesterday.
The Diamondbacks World Series was what? When they lost, that was what, 22?
You don't got to bring that up, man. No, that was 23, and they knocked the Phillies out of the NLCS. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
23. Corbin was second year? He's played like 4 years at this point.
1-2, swing and a miss. Broussard down on strikes. Might get 5 Ks for Preston Johnson, who is mowing through the Y'alls the first time through.
All right, 2 outs. I don't think I can.
Well, you got to give a guess.
I know. I'm saying, all right, fine. I'll throw Corbin Carroll. I really wanted to go change to Yelich at the end, but I'll lock in Corbin Carroll just because 10 triples sounds like a lot.
So you're locking in Corbin Carroll.
I am.
Very good. Very good. All right, so Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll, Trey Turner, Francisco Lindor have been the guesses. I believe I covered all 3 there. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone on the YouTube radio stream. Doesn't look like anyone sent in anything there. So we do have a correct answer in the chat. The one person with 3 seasons of 10+ triples, 20+ home runs, and 30+ stolen bases would be none other than the outfielder in Arizona, Corbin Carroll, and he's only 25 years old. Corbin Carroll is the correct answer. Ben, you end up with the correct answer. However, weren't the first one to do it. It was Cam Beatty who said it. Ben, I'll let you in on a secret here. You're never going to win for the community-wide answer, but in your own head, you're 1-1 on the Tettemer trivia. But Cam Beatty did get it first on Corbin Carroll. Now, we do got to I've always had this conversation with Cam. He just sends out a bunch of players. You can guess the whole league before you circle in on an answer. So maybe we split it between you two on getting that correct. But
can have it. I'm going to have a lot more this year.
Yes.
So we can have this one.
3-1 in there for a strike to Dylan Baker. But how about that? Your very first win on Tettemer Trivia.
I almost talked myself out of it again because of the age thing, but very generously reminding me of the Phillies' choke job in the NLCS and reminding me what year in 2023 that he did have enough years.
That one skied out to shallow center field, dropping quickly. Skinner can't get to it, and it bops in front of him for a base hit. Dylan Baker, the first base runner allowed by Preston Johnson in the first hit of the day for Florence. Luckily, won't see a no-hitter today.
Sometimes those bloops are all it takes to get your offense going a little bit.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Still no hard contact for Johnson so far, and he's looking his best really at this point. Again, that base hit doesn't necessarily change that answer for me.
I mean, it goes down as a line drive in the book.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Single in the book looks like anything. You'll never know it's a bloop. First pitch to Tyler Schoenfeld misses upstairs. So back up to the top of the order. Schoenfeld flied out to left field his first time around. There's 2 away and a 1-0 Mississippi lead.
I was so close to guessing Christian Yelich.
1-0, bunted down the third base line. A good one, but just foul. So Preston Johnson, we can confirm he gets out of the rhythm a little bit, doesn't do the leg movement, and he works from the stretch middle of the rubber. I think that's just key, knowing he was in the rhythm, in the windup. Now let's see if he can maybe make a few mistakes from the stretch. It's a 1-1 count to the speedy Schoenfeld. Third baseman still pushed back. There's a called strike in there at 90 miles per hour, top of the zone. Now 1-2.
I do like the bunt idea from Schoenfeld to, again, when you have someone cruising like Johnson, who's as good as he is, a lot of it can kind of come down to rhythm. So anything to throw off its rhythm already more than Baker did with that blue base hit.
Yeah. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch bounces in the dirt. Baker over at first, 2 away, 1-0. Mississippi lead here in the bottom half of the third inning. Ben Howard just got his very first Tettemer trivia correct. And you got a congrats from Rich Tettemer.
Thank you. Very appreciative. I'm very excited for more.
2-2. Schoenfeld skies it down the left field line, but foul over towards the Y'all's bullpen. Liam Alpern, what can he do with a snag in the hat after his first professional win yesterday? How about that? I wish we got that on HDN. That's a play of the day.
Pitchers are athletes too.
They are. They certainly are. That was 83 off the bat, too. That wasn't a can of corn.
Yeah.
On the run, too. Make a play in the hat. Heck of a job. 2-2 count. Baker bouncing over at first. He's going to take off. Grounds it foul off the leg. Ooh, catcher's interference, they call. Tyler Schoenfeld will head on over to
There
first.
was some kind of thud that I heard that didn't quite match up with the ball hitting something on the ground. And there's no argument either. I mean, that's just one of those weird plays, and you get Zeisler back up. That's all you need to do.
Gotta love that. Catcher's interference to get over to first. Now runners first and second. Florence, first time with a base runner in scoring position. 2 away in the bottom half of the third. They're down 1-0. Said it's just something, maybe that's technically not Preston Johnson making a mistake, but again, that's something that can get him out of his rhythm.
Yep.
First pitch to the captain, high and away. Zeisler struck out looking his last time around. Like a timeout called there from Zeisler. Got a little bit more time than the regular pitch clock. Nobody holding Schoenfeld on over at first. He'll be
No.
free to run on contact. 1-0, misses upstairs. I don't think there's any circumstance where you're careful pitching to Zeisler just to go face Bobo, right?
Not with runner, not in the situation. Already up
Yeah.
by 1, and you're putting the game-tying run in scoring position, or go-ahead run in scoring position.
It's good for Zeisler to have that protection with Bobo behind him. The 2-0 misses upstairs. Certainly, Preston Johnson, who's been dynamite all day, is living outside the zone right now.
Yeah, I think it's a rhythm thing. I don't think that's necessarily trying to work around him, but I think subconsciously you do know what he did yesterday and what he's got the capability of doing.
Middle of the rubber, a look over at Baker at second. The 3-0 pitch in there for a strike at 91. About an inch off the plate. They've been given that outside corner, though. Nothing new. Nothing new there. As long as it's consistent, you won't hear any complaints. 3-1 count to the captain. Johnson glove of the belt, the 3-1 pitch. Zeisler skies it out towards left field. This time coming in is Furr over towards foul territory. Shield making the catch right in front of the left field foul line. That'll end the inning. Florence strands 2 runners on. They do pick up their first hit of the day, but it's a 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the 4th. Again, congrats to Ben on his first Tettemer Trivia win. When we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN.
One nothing ball game. Mississippi's lead over Florence. Mud Monsters finally got to Bradley Wilson after a little bit of small ball after a leadoff single, or leadoff hit by pitch rather, by A.J. Fritz. He comes around to score on a wild pitch. Wilson, though, still limiting the damage after a couple more base hits in that inning. Florence offense very silent through 3. Ben Haller alongside Rory Tettemer for this 1-run game. Wilson back out to the bump for his 4th inning of work. 3-4-5 coming up for Mississippi. Travis Holt, Jack Holman, and Caston Furr.
I think Wilson, has done a good job. You just, kind of gave him an inch and they took a foot, a hit by a pitch, and, he worked himself around the bases without anything else really happening. So just got to rebound, and hopefully the offense can tack on 1 to try and tie this game up.
3 base hits through those 3 innings for Wilson. All 3 of them line drives through the right side of the infield from lefty hitters. First pitch now to a righty hitter, Travis Holtz, a breaking ball low. Struck out looking his first time up. Wilson, 4 strikeouts first time through the lineup. Fastball hit hard into center. Schoenfeld immediately going back all the way to the track. Looking up, he leaps, and that ball hits the batter's eye. A solo shot for Travis Holt, and Mississippi's got some insurance. That is Travis Holt's first home run of the season.
102 off the bat, 416 on distance.
That's also the first home run of the year for Mississippi.
Wow.
So comes right here at Thomas More Stadium, where we've talked about there being a lot of offense, and specifically today, wind blowing out towards center. And that ball was to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. First home run, 3rd RBI of the season for the Mississippi designated hitter. Now the cleanup hitter, Jack Holman, takes a strike on the outside corner. 2-0 Mississippi's lead now. This one's cranked. Hard foul down the first base line, just a little early on it. Was Holman.
You're right about that. I mean, a hard foul ball, 105 off the bat.
Excited to see Holman's first full season of Frontier League play. Just 10 games a season ago. He hit over 300 in his 10 games. Started all 10 of them once he joined this Mississippi roster. Fastball hits it the opposite way off one hop. Diving stop by Baker. Gets up and throws, but no chance. Way too late. An infield single here to follow up the solo shot. And Mississippi's got one on with nobody out.
That's a very nice play by Baker, to keep that. I mean, Holman probably not going to threaten to go to second, but if that was a guy like Skinner or Booker, that gets through, you're talking about maybe a hustle double.
So the spot of the lineup that struck out 3 straight plate appearances for Mississippi. The latter two, Holton Holman, a solo shot and a single. Now Caston Furr takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. He grounded out to short his first time up. Holman's not much of a runner over at first. Wilson still keeps an eye, comes home with the 0-1, misses low on a changeup. That evens the count up at 1-1. 2 for 3 day yesterday for Furr. He hit down to the lineup, 7th yesterday. They moved up a couple of spots after a good start to the year. Generous strike call on the inside part of the plate on another changeup. And Furr's falling down to the count now, 1-2. 364 is his batting average coming into game number 5 of the season for Mississippi. 1-2 pitch. Bounces in the dirt. A block of the chest by Beetle. Runner takes off for second. Good throw, but just around the tag is Holman. Really good slide. And Beetle almost got himself another runner thrown out.
That would have been impressive.
That one's going to be a wild pitch, though.
Yeah. Man, really showing off the arm today. I'm shocked they're still running.
Seriously. Especially somebody like Holman, but you see 2 of their faster guys try to swipe a bag and with no success. That was a ball, though, so counts even at 2-2. Fouled back by Furr to stay alive with the count. Florence still looking for a starting pitcher this season to give him enough length for a quality start or even for a win. Fastball right down the heart of the plate, 2-2 again, fouled back. Not much of an eye for Wilson over at second. Holman with a big lead. Fastball, 2-2. Spoiled again. Starting to turn into one of those innings for Wilson. Still no out recorded, and he's already thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah. He's got to battle back here.
But, I mean, this is kind of right on brand for what we said about Wilson. Once you get to innings 3 and 4, or when things tend to fall apart maybe a little bit. Out of the stretch again, 2-2. Hit hard right past that diving glove of Keaton Taylor. All the way into deep center, an easy wave for Holman. He jogs home. The throw's cut off. An RBI single for Caston Furr. Mississippi gets another one here in the 4th.
It's just a good piece of hitting right there. Hard hit, other way. And, yeah, Wilson, it was last year where he just looked phenomenal every time through 3 innings and then, got to these 4th 5. And, that's when they were putting on runs. It's still just a 3-run game. It's just so happens that you got Preston Johnson on the other side who's looking very good.
And what's going on in the Florence bullpen right now? Toby Hall does come out to visit with his whole infield to go along with Beetle and Wilson. Those 3 innings, were pretty good this start. 3 innings of relief on Thursday, too, against Evansville. That was really good. So maybe Hall kind of knew his limits. He'll head back out to the dugout. Now you get to the bottom half of the lineup. Jackson Nicklaus, strikeout victim of Wilson his first time up. Solo shot, infield single, and advancing on a wild pitch, that an RBI single. The 3 batters here in the visiting half of the fourth. It's 3-0 Mississippi. Wilson back out to the mound, kicks and fires first pitch right down the middle of the zone. 86 miles an hour, top half for a strike to Nicklaus. Still trying to find some consistency this year. He had a very successful college season at Oklahoma. He was named to the All-Big 12 freshman team his first year in Norman. Goes fishing on a pitch down to the dirt. He's down 0-2. He spent last season in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, getting all the way up to Double-A. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He blew a fastball by him. Nicklaus wasn't ready, and Wilson gets a huge first out of the inning, keeps the runner put at first base, and picks up his 5th strikeout of his start.
Yeah, it seems like he's still got that swing and miss stuff there. He's getting a lot of these hitters to 2 strikes, and that time he's able to finish them off. Hopefully he can do it a couple more times.
A.J. Fritz comes up to a louder ovation than any other Mississippi hitter. Have some fans here. The Lebanon, Ohio kid, 1 out, 1 on. Almost gets hit on a breaking ball, ran way inside.
It's kind of it's the second time that it's been right there, covering the plate. As you can hear, Laura Renke, the host monster, ready for beer on the beer batter of the game. Always brought to you by Party Source, one-stop destination for all things celebration.
Runner takes off for second. Pitch is outside and in the dirt, so no chance for Zach Beadle. Mississippi's getting no less aggressive despite the 2 runners caught stealing by Beadle. But Furr gets into second with a swiped bag, now in a scoring position, and also eliminates the double play opportunity for Florence, too. Pitch was low and outside, so it's a ball. And a 2-0 count here on Fritz. Look at second, comes home. Fritz hits it opposite way, right at Brendan Bobo. A little bit to his left, will make the play right in front of that wall and throw it back in. No tag for Furr. Bobo's got a pretty good arm.
It's good to see.
2 down.
It's good to see. I feel like a lot of these fly balls this series, a runner on third, that's just automatic tagging to second. Not on Bobo.
Not on Bobo.
Yeah, Tyler Shaney felt 9 putouts yesterday. Pretty impressive.
A couple of them were really good plays, too.
Yeah.
He had a diving play in that 4th inning yesterday. 2 gone, runner on second base. And Andrew Simo takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Mississippi's catcher still trying to get settled in. They do have a more defined starter and backup role, Simo being the starter for the Bud Monsters. Beautiful changeup, called strike at the knees. It's 0-2. Flight out to center his first time up. 0 for 5 day yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. Set of the belt, fires home. It bounces in the dirt. Beadle gets up, keeps a close eye on the runner at second, and walks him back.
Six hits, 3 runs for Mississippi. 3-0 ball game.
Again, the 1 hit for Florence. Obviously no runs. The 1 hit was a bloop single that kind of fell into no man's land in right field from Dylan Baker. 1-2 pitch, check swing outside. Did he go? He did. Well, Wilson picks up strikeouts 5 and 6 in the inning, but Mississippi adds on with a solo home run from Travis Holt, an RBI single from Caston Furr. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Florence still looking for offense on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Final four, Thomas More Stadium, game number 5 of the season for the Florence Y'alls. And Preston Johnson is cruising for Mississippi. It's already his second start of the season. In just game number 5, kind of skipped a spot in the rotation, Mississippi did, knowing that there's 2 off days on Sunday and Monday earlier this week. So wanted to keep Johnson in somewhat normal rest. Didn't want to give him the extended rest after a tremendous start against Gateway on opening day. That's the second time through for Johnson. He'll have to face the Hart, Bobo, Richardson, Tucker for 3-4-5. Wrestling Wednesday here at Thomas More Stadium. Not a great crowd for the game per se comparative to other games, but I would say that the wrestling matches had a lot of people out at them.
Yeah, no, the wrestling match is all about getting the kids involved. And if the wrestlers can do that, they're going to have a good time out there. You know, obviously they're really just using us for the Wednesday matches, but then they also get their Summer Sizzler at the end of the season, which is a, paid ticketed event that happens here at Thomas More Stadium right on home plate. And that's one you might be going to.
Bringing wrestling and baseball together. I heard that's one you might be wrestling in.
That happens when I'm on the road, so I'm just not here. Unless they need Y'all Star.
Well, here comes Bobo, 0 for 1 with a pop-up to third his first time up.
No action in the Y'all's bullpen. Looks like Wilson might go out for that 5th.
He settled in. Looked pretty good at that last 3 at-bats, really. Goes strikeout, fly out to right, strikeout. After Mississippi put a few on, scored a couple. Bobo, first pitch, check swing, goes back to the net.
The good thing about that bullpen, it's over there, obviously right near the clubhouse. If you're ever warm, if you're ever cold, if you're ever warm or cold, you just go right into the clubhouse, chill out a little bit. It's obviously AC when it's hot, but right now I'm sure it'd be nicer than standing in that breeze.
0-1 fastball again. Johnson just bounces to the plate. He's had a couple of those that couldn't get to the plate yet so far.
To me being in the bullpen, obviously you're wearing a hoodie out there, but you got to be warm and get ready to go. It's tough to come off the pine cold.
Johnson steps back, fires the 1-1, fastball way inside. Bobo has to get out of the way. Well, it is chilly today, but this is probably going to be as close to as chilly as it gets. The season being from mid-May to mid-September. Until you get into the kind of the playoffs, then you have some question marks there. Johnson misses again, this time fastball outside. 3-1 count here for Bobo.
Yeah, the playoffs extended to the very last game 7 of the championship. So that went to about September 21st. Now with an extra week, I think close to October.
3-1, fastball outside. Oh, called strike. Hey, we talked about the specific outside corner to lefties. Trackman had that pretty far outside too.
Yeah, definitely 2 or 3 inches off the plate.
Counts full now for Bobo, and he'll swing and miss. Actually got a piece. Or no, just dropped. So there will be a throw to first, and it will be no problem for Simo. Bobo thought he had ball 4. Instead, down on strikes for the first time today.
6th victim for Preston Johnson. He had 8 Ks across 6 innings in his first start.
It's already pretty much almost everyone in this Florence lineup. Tucker, Schoenfeld, Baker, the only 3 to not get struck out. Zade Richardson, his was looking the first time. That's that same location to righties as it was to the lefties. That's called a strike to the lefties. This time to the righty. Trackman's got that on the zone of sliver maybe. Pretty close. But it's called a ball. 1-0 count here for Richardson. Waits the 1-0. Goes after it. Tipped it into Simo's mitt. Even at 1-1. Johnson's maybe slowed down his pace a little bit, but again, we talk about how he mixes it up. Only had a pitch out of the stretch in one of the 4 innings so far. That came with 2 outs. Richardson opposite way, hard down the right field line. Booker's going up. He's looking up. That ball's out of here. Zeta Richardson, at his second straight night, leaves the ballpark. And Florence is on the board on their first run on Preston Johnson.
It's a sports of all sorts home run. 95 off the bat of Richardson. Goes Oppo Taco with it.
That's his second of the year. He now joins the team lead with both Brendan Bobo and Hank Zeisler. Each of them had 2 home runs in yesterday's game. That ball just kept carrying and carrying. I thought it was going foul at first. Tucker tries to follow it up with a bunt attempt, and it did go around halfway, not halfway, but a few steps down the first base line. He missed it, down 0-1.
It's also the first run allowed by Johnson this season.
Yeah. So Mississippi gets their first home run of the season, also the first run allowed by Johnson. That shows how dominant Johnson's been. Tucker fouls one towards the dugout, now down 0-2. Are you starting to see the beginning of a resurgence a little bit for Zeta Richardson this year, back to his prime form? Had to deal with some injuries last year. Ended up with an OPS just around 700. Called strike 3 right at the knees for Jackson Tucker, and he's got some words as he walks back to the dugout.
The emphatic strike 3 call from Rudy Bosk behind home plate. I mean, it's a chop down and then a rip.
Yeah. You have to have both the chop and the rip.
Yeah. For me, I would have been a toss to the side.
Middle of the infield open for Taylor with 2 outs, nobody on. Fouls it back. So Florence cuts the lead to 2. 3-1 now for Mississippi. And it's just the all-second hit of the game. Mississippi's got 6 of them. Taylor still trying to break out to his last season form, where he hit 300 with Evansville.
Nice
Change up, just ends up below the knees to Taylor. Also a really good take from Taylor. Started at the top part of the zone. This one's cracked on the ground, picked up at third by Fritz. Throw across the diamond, plenty of time to retire Taylor. So a ground out gets out of the inning. Florence on the board, though. Zeta Richardson, his second of the year. Welcome back to Florence. And y'all's cut the deficit to 2. 3-1 Mississippi. Don't go anywhere. We got good action right here on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTM. Florence will send Bradley Wilson back out to the mound, inning number 5. He has given up 3 runs in his first 4 innings of work, 2 of them back in the 4th. Florence finally got on the board with a solo home run from Zade Richardson. 9-1-2 for the Bud Monsters. They got a 3-1 lead. Slater Shield to lead things off. First pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Pretty good pick by Zach Beadle behind the plate. Shield singled his first time up. That was an at-bat that started with a runner on base, but then a wild pitch during his at-bat brought him in. That was first run of the game for Mississippi. Wilson misses low again. But then the run would have scored anyway thanks to a single from Shield.
I think this is Bradley Wilson's inning all the way through. He is, no one warming up in the bullpen. So people moving around, but not throwing. I have to throw the jacket on. It's that cold.
I'm getting close to that point.
And let me tell you, it was a struggle. I didn't want to do it, and I'm like, I saw our stadium ops guy with the jacket on.
2-0, breaking ball in.
Stadium ops can wear a jacket. The broadcast room can wear a jacket.
We have a little bit of a shelter. I don't know if that makes it colder, though. 3-0, get me over fastballs right down the middle of the plate. Wilson was 6 up, 6 down, unconventionally, in the first 2 innings, thanks to a runner caught stealing by Zach Beadle. Another one right down the middle of the plate that Shield left alone.
Wilson has, kind of battled here with Preston Johnson. Obviously, he's given up more runs, but, 6 strikeouts is right up there with Johnson's 7.
The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Wilson battles back from down 3-0. Goes a heater at the top of the zone right at 90 miles an hour, and Shield couldn't catch up.
Just what you see from Wilson right now, it certainly feels like he belongs in that 5 spot in the rotation.
I think so. Especially, I believe, if he can record another out, he will have the longest start out of the 5 starters for Florence so far.
Almost the best start. I'd say so. He's got the most strikeouts by any starter.
Top of the lineup, we'll see what he can do 3 times through. Braylon Skinner, he'll face for a 3rd time, and this is someone who's had his number. A couple of singles for Skinner so far. First pitch low below the knees to him. Now breaking ball, Skinner fouls back towards the clubs and hits the glass window, but that's strong glass.
Yeah, the
Skinner
luxury
can't
suites.
break through.
Luxury suites there, that plexiglass.
Out of the stretch, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Skinner was one of the 2 strikeout victims, or caught stealing victims, I should say. One of the only ones who hasn't struck out for Mississippi. Got a couple of those on both sides. Wilson misses outside again. 2-2 on Skinner, who really sets the table for Mississippi and has already made an impact with his speed. Hits it hard down the first base line. On and Zeisler picks it up and he'll sprint to first base to record the out. Hank Zeisler with a beautiful play down the first base line.
Really nice play from Zeisler there. It's not hard trying to protect that line as well. A nice diving stop on the forehand. And then to get up to his legs, not use Bradley Wilson on the PFP there. He did it all himself.
Yeah, quick pop to get back up to his feet, too. I think something that impressed me. So 2 down and a good response so far for Wilson. He's now recorded 5 straight ever since the 3rd run came in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss for Kyle Booker, who went after a changeup and missed it. Booker's 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a ground out to 3rd. Swing and a miss. Oh, he lost the bat all the way down the first base line. I got fooled yesterday. I thought, was it Sergio who I thought lost the bat? It was just a broken bat.
That's one of the great lines from Happy Gilmore. The club went further than the ball.
Not even close this time. The bat ended up all the way by that picnic area down the first base line. This is going to be a long walk for Kyle Booker.
It's almost a walk of shame, too, right?
I don't know, almost. I think it is a walk of shame.
Not often do you lose the bat.
Especially on a swing and a miss. I mean, that's when the most of the losing the bat situations happen, but especially a walk of shame because he swung and missed. He's down 0-2 here with 2 outs and nobody on. Swing and a miss, down on 3 strikes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Bradley Wilson, 1-2-3 after a 2-run top of the 4th. Responds at the top of the 5th to keep this deficit at just 2. 3-1 Mississippi, halfway home on the Frontier League Network powered by HTN. Bradley Wilson's completed 5 for Florence. Preston Johnson will try to match. He's got the lead, too. It's 3-1 Mississippi as we have made it to the bottom of the 5th from Thomas More Stadium. Second home game of the year for the Florence Yawls. And Johnson will see 3-4-5. Travis Holt, Jack Coleman, or rather 3-4-5 Florence. Bottom of the lineup, Beadle, Broussard, Baker. But it's a bottom of the lineup that's done some damage for Florence, at least here at home. Broussard, a 3-hit day yesterday. Dylan Baker, a 2-hit day yesterday. Baker had an RBI to go with it, too. Beadle a strikeout in the 3rd inning. That was when Johnson was just mowing through this Florence team. First runner to get on base was Dylan Baker. He singled with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. It was 8 up, 8 down for Johnson. We'll get to wait for the all clear from Mosque behind the plate. And Beadle will step in. Wind still blowing out considerably to the right field side. We saw wind impact maybe a little bit on the 1-run Florence has had on the Zeta Richardson solo shot. Beadle goes after a first pitch slider. Swing and a miss at 85. 0 for 1 with that strikeout. 286 start to the year, though, making his 3rd start behind the plate. 0-2, fastball bounces all the way into the mid of SEMO.
Ben, what do you got on this blanket over these seats? Is that 3 people, you think, down first base or third base side of the concourse? Or is that 1 person laying down? No, that's 3 kids.
Swing and a miss on the fastball outside. I was just about to say maybe someone laying down. Yeah, that's definitely three different kids.
3 kids under
I'm seeing one face right now.
One big red blanket. Not interested in watching the game, just trying to stay warm.
Well, they're getting a treat with Preston Johnson so far and what he's done. 1-2, slider missed low.
I believe those blankets are actually discounted as well at the Florence Team Store. So a pretty good day for some blanket discounts.
I know we have to watch the game, but we might have to sneak under one of those and get one from the team store if it gets too cold here down the road. Lines and fires 2-2, fastball up. It's out of the mitt. That one is not one that would typically Simo would typically miss. Nobody on base, though, so no harm, no foul. Jack Beadle is no stranger to indie ball. This is his 6th season playing for an independent baseball league. Played for the United Shore Professional Baseball League for 3 seasons before spending last season with Windy City. Payoff pitch, went after an outside breaking ball swing and a miss. Second time Beadle's down on strikes.
Yeah, 8th K of the day from Preston Johnson. He matches Bradley Wilson in the K department.
1 down. Florence still trying to find some offense here in the bottom of the 5th. We talked about how well Bradley Wilson responded to the Mississippi's toughest inning with a 2 spot of the 4th. Most of Florence, all of Florence's offense came an inning ago. We'll see how Johnson responds. Broussard, check swing on the first pitch. It was down the zone, no appeal needed. It's a strike. So how about a hot 400 average to start the season? That's 4 for 10 for Broussard. Swing and miss on a pitch low. He split time a little bit over at third base with Brett Blomquist. That's another one of the few position battles we're going to see at the beginning of the year to see who's the mainstay third baseman. And I think Broussard's doing a really nice job making a name for himself so far.
Yeah. Certainly has.
Down to the count 0-2 here. Throwaway pitch, fastball outside. A little bit of slip from Sebo too as he went after it.
I think you're seeing Johnson out of a groove right now. That being said, I also think the night is done for Bradley Wilson. Campbell Spradling warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think all night, though, Johnson's misses have not necessarily been close. So I think that's something he even saw the first inning, even though he was in a groove and retired the first 8 of this game in order. Still up in this count, 1-2. Well, there it is.
Yeah, he's lost it.
Inside, high and inside on Garrett Broussard. Able to turn enough, and I think use his shoulder to kind of shield his head from that. But Broussard will head down to first base with a hit by pitch.
I mean, that's 2 pitches to the backstop and 1 running inside in the same at-bat.
And I think Mississippi is going to have a conversation right now, too, with Johnson.
It'll be Kurt Takahashi, the pitching coach for Mississippi, going out to have a word with his arm. Kurt's a great guy.
Yes.
Maybe spoke to him? Yeah, you have.
Noticing the same thing that you're noticing, though, especially on that at-bat. You get Dylan Baker. He broke Johnson out of his groove the first time with a bloop single.
Well, looks like the soon-to-be trainer of the Florence Yalls. I say soon-to-be because I believe he is in training, going out to help Garrett Broussard over at first as well. See what's going on with him. Obviously, make sure he's okay after a hit by pitch.
That's just a courtesy check, and you have the time with the other team having a mound meeting. Meeting ends for Mississippi. Baker's got 3 ribbies already this year. At a 3:08 start to the season. Runner on first with 1 out. Mississippi's got the 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. They're trying to even up this series with Florence. Force a rubber match tomorrow night. Johnson back out of the mound, working from the stretch. First pitch, check swing. Don't need the appeal. Pitch is called a strike right at the top third.
Dylan Baker, another one that's having a great start to the season. 308 average entering. He's got a single today.
Not as much of a position battle for him. He's got that shortstop position on lock.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time at shortstop the back half of last season for Florence, too. Fouled 1 back. Kind of more of that defensive specialist, too. Anything he can do offensively is just kind of a bonus.
Yep. It's one where he'll, sacrifice whatever he hits average-wise for his defense.
Already seen a pretty nice play from him today, combining with Hank Zeisler all the way back in that first inning. He's down 0-2. Throw over to first. Closer than Florence maybe would like.
Yeah.
With Broussard off the bag.
It kind of got back slow, like he just stuck in mud. It was like slow motion there. I thought the first move was quick from Broussard, and then he just slowed down once he hit the turf.
Johnson hasn't paid close attention to runners on base. This one hit hard down the left field line. He's early on it. It tails right over the seats and out of play.
Swing there, though. 80-mile-per-hour off speed.
Yeah, they would love for Baker to contribute offensively again, even though it's just a bonus doesn't mean that they wouldn't love it. Last year for him, 237 batting average. At an OPS right around 600. He'll try the 0-2 again out of the stretch. In the dirt, check swing. The appeal did not go. Really good block behind the plate from Simo, who, despite Johnson's pretty good start so far, has had a lot of work blocking pitches and keeping pitches from getting behind him.
Yeah.
1 on, 1 out still. Baker trying to get on base, flip it to the top of the lineup. Johnson misses way high, so after he starts him off 0-2, 2 uncompetitive pitches. That one at 80 miles an hour above the head of Baker. Got to strike out a Beetle to start the inning. Then Broussard was hit by a pitch.
Do have a comment here from Tommy Webster.
Shakes off a couple of signs, now goes to first. And the runner was off the bag, but he overthrew it. And very fortuitously, Broussard will get up to second base. He would have been toast.
He might have a rabbit foot in his back pocket there. I mean, he was definitely picked off, and just the throw goes wild and into right field. Either way, comment from Tommy Webster. Rory, are they going to display the miles per hour on the outfield fence this year? Tommy, with the new padding, there's no hole in the wall for us to put that board up there. We're figuring out whether it's going to go on the video board or in the right field Velcro wall.
Love to see the miles per hour on that pickoff move. 2-2 back at the plate. Baker gets a piece, stays alive with the count.
At one point, it will be up. Just trying to figure out the technology to make it happen. It's that new padded fencing where you don't have a hole in it this time around.
Want to go out there, poke a hole in it?
No, I do not. They just got put up.
Sponsor's not happy?
Yeah, there you go.
This has turned into a pretty long at-bat. Baker's fought a couple of pitches off. There's been an awkward play in the middle of that with a failed pickoff move, and Baker's down on strikes. Johnson went back to the fastball, 90 miles an hour, his bread and butter. And Baker was caught off guard, 2 down on a couple of strikeouts. Runner stays put at second. For the top of the lineup, 2 times through the order for Preston Johnson. He has been outstanding. Just 1 earned run on a couple of base hits.
5 innings, 9 Ks is nothing to snuff at. Be nice if you can make him pay a little, or else you might be looking at the Frontier League Pitcher of the Week.
Shaney Felt, the last hope in the home half of the 5th for Florence, with the runner at scoring position. He is the tying run, with the Alls trailing by 2, 3-1. In there for a strike on the first pitch. 85 miles an hour, top part of the zone.
It's a little bit of a cutter there, spinner.
Last time Shadyfelt was up, awkward play. He fouled a pitch off, but there was a thud beforehand, a catcher's interference by Simo, and Shadyfelt was awarded first base. Lays down a bunt, popped up into foul territory, up and out of play. That hits the awning right in front of us. It's one of the further bunts you're going to see, at least behind him, from Shadyfelt to go up and over the net and all the way to the awning. Goes down 0-2 here, though. Another big reason Johnson's performed the way he has today is getting ahead in counts. We have seen a ton of 0-2 counts on Florence hitters. Off speed, low. Shadyfelt left it alone.
It's an 0-2 count to Shadyfelt, 2 away and a runner on second.
A 1-2 pitch. Shadyfelt gets another piece. Sprinting towards the seating is Fritz. He won't have a play on it. Bounces in front of those yellow seats, gets up and out of play. So keep it a 1-2. But that has been a similar at-bat for Florence so far. It's Preston Johnson starting him off 0-2 or 1-2, and Florence doing a good enough job fouling off pitches, but Johnson has stayed so persistent in these plate appearances and attacking Florence hitters. Big reasons Big reason he's got 9 strikeouts already today. Half the batters he has faced today have struck out. Hank Zeisler on deck. We'll try the 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. It was way high. Shady Felt went chasing, and he is down on strikes. They will strand the runner over at second base. Through 5, Florence still trailing by 2. 3-1 Mississippi. Rory Tettemer back on the mic for the 6th inning. The Frontier League Network, powered by HTN.
Top half of the 6th inning, it's a 3-1 Mississippi lead over Florence. Got a Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken pitching change with a new wing coming into the game. Pick up the best wings in the tri-state area. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Lee's always fresh and never frozen. Travis Holt, Jack Holman, and Caston Furr will be the first to greet the new pitcher, Campbell Spradling. The southpaw for Florence in relief of Bradley Wilson, who goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts in, I would say, the best start by any Florence starter so far this season. A very good outing for Bradley Wilson, unfortunately leaving in line with the loss as the Y'alls are down 3-1. Spradling with his 2nd appearance of the season. Inning pitched, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Back in Evansville in that game that Florence was walked off against on Saturday, this last Saturday. Travis Holt took the first pitch inside. 88 miles per hour in there, 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch, 1 hopper over towards the third baseman, Broussard. Fields it, throw on to first is in time, right into the chest of Hank Zeisler. 5-3 on the put-away of Holt. That'll bring up Jack Holman, who's 1 for 2, and the run scored. Spradling out of Liberty Township, Ohio. A rookie for the Florence Y'alls bullpen. 23 years of age, out of the University of Charleston. First pitch to the lefty. Holman misses low and away. Spradling was inning pitch, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout on May 9th at Evansville. Very good pitcher at the University of Charleston. 1-0 swing and a miss at 89, top of the zone. 22.75 on the spin rate. 4 collegiate seasons, 7-2 record, a 4.52 ERA. 49 games appeared, 14 starts. 89 2/3 innings pitched with 91 Ks and 64 walks. Fastball misses away. There's that same spot that we've seen called a strike all day. Maybe that was just a cross up there from Beadle and not lined up there. 2-1. Misses upstairs, 3-1. Spradling working from the third base side of the rubber as the lefty against the lefty. So he's trying to work as far away from the lefty batter's box as possible there. Sometimes you see a guy like Blake Snell, he'll work first base side of the rubber, and it's almost like a slider is like coming behind the lefty. And when runs inside, hits the arm of Jack Holman. That'll be a hit my pitch, always brought to you by Airport Paint and Body. Go Airport Paint and Body. When life throws a fastball at your ride, they'll smooth it out and get you back in the game. Submit a free estimate online today at airportpaintbody.com. So a hit by pitch there puts a one-out runner aboard. Going to bring up Caston Furr. Furr is 1 for 2. An RBI single his last time up. Spradling transformed into a starter in his senior year. 3-2 record with a 3.22 ERA. 9 starts, 44 2/3 innings pitched. 41 Ks to 23 walks. Holman with a 2.5 step lead. First pitch misses inside. Spradling trying to find the strike zone. One-0 count with the runner on first and one away. Florence trailing 3-1 in the top half of the sixth. The 1-0 delivery. Man, it is right there. Just missing downstairs at 84 miles per hour.
I think that part of the zone has been called differently to righties as it is lefties, and you kind of see that a lot. You know, sometimes the outside parts are even for both sides.
2-0 in there for a strike at 89.
Even if it's the exact same spot, and obviously it being inside versus being outside to two different sides of the plate.
Yep, I get that. You know, righty's usually crowding the plate there while it's working away to a lefty.
Right.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.